High-value men, or the secret 1% of men as it is always referred to, are highly sought after and they often have their pick when it comes to women. However, it is not their resources or wealth that make women desire them, but rather the people they are and the way they carry themselves. But the great thing is that no matter who you are, you can adopt some of these traits and become high value yourself. So let's find out which traits it is that make women addicted to men. Number 1. Stop worshiping other people. This first one might be a little more tricky, but one of the biggest mistakes that men make is they compare themselves to others and eventually they start to worship them as fans. Yes, you might have once been a fanboy, but high-value men do not focus on becoming fanboys and they focus on themselves. One of the key differences between the traditional fanboy and someone who is in control of who they are is that they rely on themselves and don't need to worry about finding inspiration from other men. But how do you do that is the question. Well, one thing that psychology has taught us about attraction is that the only way to be truly attractive is to fully stand out. This means that you will need to find a way that makes you stand apart from the rest of the crowd. This is done through self-reflection and by truly understanding your strengths and weaknesses. But the way that high-value men view celebrities is also completely different, and it involves a different set of glasses. You see, normal people admire the luxury or the skill of their favorite celebrity, but a high-value man looks at how this person managed to reach such an incredible level of fame and success. Instead of becoming fanboys, they would much rather study the other person to see which things they can apply to their own lives. Once they do this, they inevitably realize that the other person is not as spectacular, and they can also reach that level. Women truly admire this level of ingenuity, and instead of dealing with a fanboy that constantly desires to reach those levels, they can now have a man that is actually working to become like this. It also ties into the second very important thing high-value men do. Number 2. Never compare yourself to others. You have probably been told since you were a child that you should always compare yourself to who you were yesterday instead of who someone else is today. This is not only important when it comes to attraction, but also essential to ensure that you can find yourself and actually stand out sufficiently. You see, we do not truly grasp the lives of others, and when you compare yourself to who they are, you are only comparing yourself to the iceberg that you see. People rarely delve beneath the surface to look at what is truly lurking beneath the depths of the water. Each person faces their own trials and tribulations, which means that you will never truly grasp what that person has gone through to become the man they are today. So, the idea is that you need to truly stand out from the rest of the crowd, which involves finding out who you are and how you are improving. If a woman keeps talking about someone, you don't need to compare yourself to find out where you are better than them. This doesn't even matter, and women appreciate this self-confidence. You see, whenever you become comfortable with who you are, you tend to develop more and more self-confidence. It is not the person that you are that is attractive to women, but rather the self-confidence with which you go through life. And the more self-confidence you show, the more and more attractive you will become. However, it is essential to understand that there is a very fine line between being self-confident and being arrogant. Number 3. Taking responsibility. Another very important thing that high-value men do is focus on taking responsibility for themselves and their actions. Things are bound to go wrong in life, and you can rarely predict what the future will hold. But most low-value men will rather go with the flow and simply allow things to happen, before blaming it on circumstances or situations beyond their control. You see, a high-value man understands that life is no different than a simple game of chess. Well, there's nothing really simple about chess, but the principles remain the same. In a game of chess, you often find yourself in a specific position. You cannot simply quit the game or you will lose. However, you can find the best move that gives you the best opportunity of winning, and this is exactly what high-value men understand. If they do make a blunder, they can take responsibility and ensure that they are to blame for this mistake. This also means that they are willing to take the accountability that would follow, regardless of how bad the repercussions of such a thing can be. Since women hate taking responsibility or accountability for anything in life, They seek someone who is strong enough to carry this for them. Women will want to know that should things go wrong, the man they are dating will have the mindset and ability to fix these problems, which also builds even more additional trust in him. This means that you should stop complaining about life and understand that things will inevitably go wrong, but you are the one who chooses how you deal with such events. This will lead to even more respect from others, and people will be far more inclined to trust you. Always note that trust is the one thing women highly desire, and when they find it in a man, they will always keep on coming back. Number 4. They don't need acceptance from anyone. Perhaps one of the most frustrating things in life is that many men constantly seek the acceptance and validation of others, especially for their accomplishments. Do you know why successful people rarely talk about their accomplishments? Well, it is because they know that others will not be able to give them validation, and it is kind of annoying as well. By not needing the validation of others, these men seek validation within themselves, and if people don't like them, they are confident enough to know that it doesn't matter what others think of them. Since they don't need this acceptance from other people, their opinions don't have any bearing on them. And where many men falter when others criticize them, these men tend to continue pushing through any adversity life throws at them. Once you realize that the opinion of others don't have any bearing on your life, you will realize that the world is your playground. And from here, you can do whatever you want. This is what truly makes you seem like a high-value man, and it allows you to continue improving every single day. So, to become such a man, you should set your goals in such a way that it brings benefit to you, and not worry about how it'll affect anyone around you. Women will notice this, and they will start saying that you seem like someone who lives life by their own rules. This is truly attractive, and every woman wants to be a part of this. Number 5. Treating everyone with respect. This is another very important lesson you were probably taught in school. However, the moment many men reach some level of success, they allow their egos to take over. You will see them bad-mouthing others or even talking down to people who are not on the same level as they are. Whether you realize this or not, women actually take note of this, and they also notice that you allow your emotional side to take over, and this dictates all your actions. Now, according to various psychology sources, women tend to be far more emotional than men, and once a man starts revealing all of his emotions, she is out. You see, a great woman wants to be treated with respect, and in most cases, she also gives back that same level of respect to those she encounters. This could mean being kind to your server at a restaurant or even the person helping you at Walmart. But there is another sneaky trick highly valued men do. This small secret is the way in which they actually talk to others. Since they have incredible self-confidence, they tend to be very charming as well. This charm becomes extremely attractive to others, and even those who you don't have a personal relationship with will find it attractive. If you don't understand anything about women, you will notice that they truly value the opinions of others. And if people tell you that you are a great guy and that you seem really friendly, she will take note. That small little insecurity will raise your value in her mind significantly. So, experiment with charming the boots off everyone you talk to. But if you're in a relationship, make sure to draw the line between charming and flirting. Number 6. They understand when to say no. One of the biggest issues with men is the fact that they always feel they are reaching for a specific girl. This means that they value the woman to be more important than themselves, and they would sacrifice almost everything for them to keep her happy. The problem with this lies in how the female mind works, and you will quickly realize that the moment she feels that she has you hooked, she will pull away. This will be when she starts testing you more frequently, and any sign of weakness will be something that she continues to use against you. If you consistently say yes or give in to her every whim, she might seem like she loves this and the way you treat her, but she will also start to lose more and more respect for you, which is the one thing you need to sustain a solid relationship. To this end, you will need to know that saying no is important, and if you really don't want to say yes, you need to be comfortable with uttering the words no. The immediate impact of this might be frustrating and she might be angry, but at least you will continue to have all her respect, and this is what is most important. Number 7. They don't tolerate bad behavior. Similar to saying no, there comes a point in the relationship between a man and a woman where both of them are different. During this time, she might constantly test you to see if you are weak, and this can be in various forms. For the most part, she will start showing bad behavior, which includes defying what you say or purposely trying to position herself in a place where she constantly challenges your authority. And high-value men simply do not tolerate this. However, it is the way in which high-value men address this in women that makes the biggest difference. Low-value men would often resort to emotions, and they will tell the woman that this is affecting them emotionally, and they might even resort to passive-aggressive behavior. By now, you should know that this kind of behavior is heavily associated with women, and they often withhold things like intimacy through being passive-aggressive. On the other hand, a high-value man thinks differently, and they will directly address the situation without any emotional behavior. Should she not be happy with this, he knows that he has the courage and the skills to move on and find someone else. Now, doing this will definitely result in some conflict between you and the other person. But once again, you are not showing any weak behavior, which means that you will inevitably walk away with her respect. So, whilst she is angry with you now, she will come around after some time. Number 8. Dealing with their insecurities. One thing that every man on the planet has in common is the fact that we all have some form of insecurity. This could be due to things that have happened in the past, or it could be due to the fact that you have something within yourself that you are uncomfortable with or trying to hide. Now, the difference between high-value and low-value men is that the latter tends to allow these to occupy his mind and even dictate his actions. Since insecurities are inherently feminine things, men need to figure out how to deal with this or realize that it doesn't truly matter. If you don't have the bank account of the top 1%, it doesn't matter, and you should continue pursuing excellence. The ultimate goal is to have your insecurities be your problem and not allow them to create other problems throughout your life. The moment you allow this to happen, you fade away from practical and pragmatic life to something that is resembled by weakness, and women will immediately notice this. One slight tip that might help you is to understand that things in life are not as bad as what you might think, and that your mind, especially the emotional side of your mind, is not your friend. By allowing your tendencies to overthink to take over, you will be making bad decisions, and since these snowball, it will destroy your self-image. Ideally, you want to face these insecurities head-on and address them as best you can. This will once again allow your self-confidence to be reestablished, which means that you will become a far stronger and more confident man. Number 9. They live in the moment. By now, you might have noticed that high-value men tend to forget about the past and they rarely stress about the future. This allows them to remain present in the moment, and if you remember, women love a man who truly lives by his own rules and does not allow others to dictate the terms of his life. By living in the moment, you get to experience everything life has to offer, and you can dive in without fear that is often holding you back. You see, low-value men are living in so much fear, constantly worried about the opinions of others that they tend to falter at every little corner, and they don't take risks. Women truly love the risk takers, and since this creates an exhilarating life, they immediately see that it is something they want to be a part of. Once you manage to overcome some of your fears and also realize that it is holding you back, you are bound to turn into a different type of man. But adding to this is the element of adventure, and once again, psychology has shown that women truly hate boredom. Many people believe women date wealthy men because they offer them security, and this is true at a later age, but in the first 30 years of their lives, it is all about seeking the man that offers them the best adventure. The only way you can truly find out how adventurous you are is to live in the moment. However, you need to remain cognizant of things around you, so you do not indulge in the things that are not good for you. Number 10. They strive for purpose and excellence. For those of you who have stayed until the end, you will be happy to know that your strive for perfection and taking a break from women to pursue your purpose is something that will generally work out in your favor. What this actually means is that instead of pursuing the small niceties of life, you need to figure out why you are on this earth. You see, women are mostly responsible for bringing new life into the world, but men should change and improve the landscape of the world we live in. It is very similar to this video, where the purpose is to make actionable changes in the lives of those who have been following, and if you subscribe, it helps a ton. The The moment you figure out the reason for why you are on Earth, you will also notice that your focus shifts away from women and to this specific thing you want to change or to accomplish. Now that women do not take any precedence in your life, they keep on wondering what it'll take to tame this beast of a man on a mission. She will also realize that she doesn't matter as much to you as she does to some low-value man, and since women are always trying to seek what they cannot have, they begin to chase. You might find that she reveals her true feminine side, and she starts to show some more weakness than she originally did. However, regardless of the emotional games that will follow, she will realize that she needs to be in her place if she is to have a solid future with you. High-value men realize that they need to lead every single day, and this is the only way they can have their pick of the field when it comes to women. A simple example would be Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, arguably the hardest working man in Hollywood, and thanks to his insane work ethic, people truly fall in love with him. Now, becoming this man takes time, but it also requires action, and you need to make sure that you actually have the power to push through and become this man. But women are tough to understand, and we recommend that you subscribe to our channel, and together we will navigate the labyrinth of mystery that is the modern woman.